Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Once again, I realized how much I love this car. Subaru Crosstreck Wilderness, driving in the snow in Canada. This thing is absolutely phenomenal if you live in a climate where you have winter roads. Okay, I just took it for a spin. No winter tires, just the regular tires that it comes with. And the thing that makes this car so amazing, and all the Subarus really, is the active all-wheel drive, which is an active system which adjusts the power independently to all four wheels as you're driving at any speeds. And Subaru just calls it their all-wheel drive. A lot of other car manufacturers will claim they have all-wheel drive systems, but they're not the same. In fact, a lot of them are just a fancy traction control system. There's a big difference between independent all-wheel drive and just traction control or just a passive all-wheel drive. Some car manufacturers will claim they have all-wheel drive because, well, all of the wheels are driving, but it may be a standard 80% to the front wheels, 20% to the rear wheels. And when the computer senses a little bit of slippage, it may just cut power to the wheels, either the front or back, whatever is slipping. That's kind of a passive all-wheel drive system. Some of them are just fancy traction control systems. And it'll be a standard 80-20 split again. And then if one of the wheels starts slipping, traction control, what it'll do is actively brake that wheel. And if you've driven a car that has traction control, you can tell on a slippery road when you're making a turn and your front wheels are slipping a little bit, it'll apply the brakes to those sides there, and you'll hear that kind of jarring, that like that as the car is, you'll even hear it as the car applies brakes to certain wheels that are slipping. I mean, I guess it's a safety feature, but it's not really all-wheel drive. The Subaru system is absolutely phenomenal. It will actively redistribute the power to all four wheels. When one of the wheels is slipping, it will decrease the amount of power going to that wheel, and it may increase the amount of power going to the other three wheels, or the front right wheel, or the front left wheel, or the back right. What are the options? Are the back right and the back left? It's incredible. Which means you don't slip. You have complete control when you're driving on slippery conditions, when you're maneuvering the car at slow and medium speeds. You will, if you turn right, the car will turn right. If you turn left, the car will turn left. Even if your wheels are slipping all over the place, the car will redistribute power amongst the wheels so that you will complete that turn in line without fishtailing or without the front end sliding into the turn. Now, you know the difference between a front wheel and rear wheel and an all-wheel drive car, how they behave on snow. A rear-wheel drive car, like if you have a pickup truck or an SUV, I had a Nissan Xterra with rear-wheel drive, unless I put it into four-wheel drive, which is another video maybe. But usually you drive around in a pickup truck or an SUV, they typically have rear-wheel drive, at least the older ones. And when you're driving on slippery conditions, you accelerate into a turn, all the power is in the back wheels slip, the car starts fishtailing. Your rear end slips in the opposite direction to the direction you're turning. And if you keep accelerating, you'll spin out. That's rear wheel drive. Front wheel drive is a little bit, I guess, better or safer. It's your front wheels that are driving. You'll turn right, the wheels will turn. If they start slipping, you will slide straight forward. You won't complete your turn. You will try and turn right, but your wheels will slip and you'll just slide forward. In both cases, you will not complete the turn without losing control of your car. With Subaru's all-wheel drive system, it's absolutely incredible. Check out these road conditions. All-wheel drive is not 5% better than rear-wheel drive, or 20% better. It's 10,000 times better. This is absolutely incredible. So I'm going to go around a curve here. This road is sheer ice. We're going to stop here. We're going to stop. And we're going to accelerate on the curve. We're going to really accelerate. And we're going to go around this curve. And we slid just a little bit, but the car did not fishtail. From stop, a 90-degree turn here. Full accelerator. Car just tracks a perfect turn. Do you guys see the road conditions here? Let me show you the road conditions. These are road conditions. Okay, this is typical road conditions where I live in the winter. This is sheer ice and snow. All right, ice and snow. Let's go to this, and it just snowed, so it's fresh. There's no, let's go accelerate and turn. Accelerate and turn. There's no fishtailing, it's straight tracking. Just driving up here, no problem. Here we go, we're gonna approach this cul-de-sac and we're just gonna turn around. Well, it's not a cul-de-sac. Just let's turn, accelerate and turn. The car just tracks perfectly straight. And that is because if you're driving a rear-wheel drive car and you accelerate on slippery road conditions like this, the rear wheels spin and then you lose traction on the rear wheels and the rear end of your car slides out to the left or right depending which direction you're turning, and you fishtail and you spin out. When you have front wheel drive and you accelerate, the wheels start spinning, and now we're going uphill, we're accelerating, ice, no problem. When you have front wheel drive and you accelerate, the front wheels spin and your front end drives into the direction you're going to turn, and you lose control and your car goes sideways. With the Subaru all-wheel drive system, let's stop right here. I know some of you asked me, why did you buy a Subaru? This is where I drive, okay? With the Subaru all-wheel drive system, when I'm turning with all-wheel drive and one of the rear tires loses traction, instantaneously the car will decrease power to that wheel and add more power to the opposing wheel that has traction, and it'll constantly change this so that when I'm going around a curve and usually it's the rear wheels that will start losing traction, it'll apply more power to the front wheels, but it'll arrange that and tune that every split second as you're going, so that when you get to road conditions like this, now we're going to turn here now, and if you have a rear wheel drive or front wheel drive car, you're going to have trouble. I'm going to accelerate and turn, and it's like a rally car. You can't spin out. It is so safe in slippery road conditions. All tests that have been done, all-wheel drive will give you more traction compared to rear wheel or front wheel. Even just on accelerating straight, you will accelerate faster with all-wheel drive in slippery conditions. Same tires, everything else being equal. The other thing is, just because you have all-wheel drive, don't get a false sense of security that you can't slide. If I go really fast and try and do a left-hand turn out of control, yeah, I could slide and off the road and have an accident. But the control when maneuvering, and maneuvering at slow speeds or medium speeds, or trying to accelerate and turning left and right, your car will not slide out. The all-wheel drive system in this car constantly corrects. You can do pretty much anything in this car on these slippery conditions, and you cannot fishtail or spin this car out. You cannot lose control. The car will maintain a forward direction, and in wet conditions or slippery conditions, you will just not lose control. It's absolutely incredible. So you non-Subaru people, you non-believers, come to Canada and drive on the roads, and then you'll understand why a lot of people in the northern climates drive Subarus. In conditions like this, you will just change direction effortlessly. Let's try and do a donut here, and this car will not do a donut with traction control on. You can accelerate, floor it, and the car will just turn around. You will not fishtail. On pure ice and snow. Without X mode, this is just normal all-wheel drive. So that's the major selling feature. I know I've made some videos about my new Crosstrek Wilderness on the infotainment system, and I don't particularly like the sound system and some of the fancy buttons and things, but really the meat and potatoes of this car, the powertrain, is absolutely flawless, and I gotta say that about all the Subarus. I've owned a WRX, I've owned an STI, and I've got an Outback, and now a Crosstrek. I guess I gotta try the Forester. But they all have active, independent all-wheel drive system. This thing is incredible in the winter. Too bad I couldn't get you some good footage from out of the car And guys, don't try and record yourself while you're driving. I have a little mount in front of my steering wheel. I can just put the camera there, and you know, I can have two hands on the wheel and drive safely. But hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna just, I went to the store, but I'm gonna bomb around these wintry roads a little bit more and go up some hills. Let me know if you enjoyed that. If you want me to try and do maybe more, get a passenger and get the passenger to actually film from outside the car some of the maneuvers in the snow. I'm sure I have a lot more time this winter to do that. I will catch you guys on the next one.